Welcome to Review Nation and welcome to Power Metal Week. You guys voted for Power Metal Week and I'm going to give you some Power Metal, and today we are reviewing Blind Guardian's Beyond the Red Mirror. This was released in 2015. It was a 5-year gap between At the Edge of Time, and that was a fantastic album as well. Blind Guardian did something different. They decided to make a sequel from Imaginations from the Other Side, where there's basically a story structure and it's really hard to understand what the actual concept of the story is about beyond the Red Mirror, but there are certain elements and certain themes from Imaginations from the Other Side. But concept aside, we're here to talk about the music itself. Concept on this album is one of probably the hardest concepts to actually understand, because you really need to understand Imaginations from the Other Side. And Imaginations from the Other Side leads to a protagonist, which is a boy that is looking beyond these two mirrors. You got one that represents our world, and you got one that represents the fantasy world, the legendary world, the mythology world. This protagonist is the chosen one between one of these worlds. These mirrors are the portal to these worlds. I think it represents the start of Beyond the Red Mirror through and the story ends through Imaginations from the Other Side. And this boy is torn which portal he's going to enter. So he decides to leave it. And then moving on to Beyond the Red Mirror, he is an adult now, 25 years later. These portals that are worlds are now in chaos. And his goal is to find a Holy Grail in order to put him back into equilibrium. That's what I was getting from this album. That's the concept of the album. But my God, it is an incredibly hard concept to understand. It really is. I do like concepts that are easier to understand, but you also have Symphony X, the new mythology suite, which was a very hard concept to understand. This is a much harder concept to understand, in my opinion. The overall production is absolutely fantastic. I believe they had 3 choirs on this album with a mass of 90 people performing, because overall the choir makes this album very grandiose, especially like songs of Twila the Gods, The Ninth Wave. Overall, the production is absolutely fantastic. Drums are very punchy and impactful, not to mention the bass is quite subtle, but you can still hear the bass within the mix. And Hansi Kirsch's vocals throughout this album are just fantastic. He incorporates growls throughout one of these songs. The guitar tones are really good, and it's a really good symphonic power metal album. It really is. I need a drink. Let's kick off with the first song, The Ninth Wave. Sail until you reach the promised land. We all wait for a new tomorrow. Alright, so overall this song is absolutely fantastic to really kick off this album. I really love the choir throughout the introduction. It makes it quite epic. And the syncopated guitar riffs throughout this song overall just intensifies it into the next level. Hansi Kirsch comes in throughout this song, and not to mention a very catchy melodic fucking chorus as well that leads onto some really nice bass moments. But Frederick MK really incorporates some really nice double kicks throughout this song, and not to mention those really nice drum fills, especially throughout that chorus. But man, you get a really nice guitar solo. This song is around about 9 minutes. It's quite impactful with energy, and it's just a great way to kick off a Blind Guardian album. There is a lot of emotion conveyed throughout this song. It's like the protagonist is actually finding what the Ninth Wave is. Maybe the Ninth Wave is actually gods that are ruling this science fiction world, or something beyond the Red Mirror. But overall, we all know that his goal is to try and find that Holy Grail in order to get everything into equilibrium again. But man, it's just a great epic way to just start off. Okay, so then it leads on to Twila the Gods. This is a very power metal song, and I just love the overall chord progression as well. Now, Hansi vocals throughout this song has some really nice falsetto range, especially throughout that conclusion, and his head voice throughout this particular song is fantastic, using his nice vibrato. I just love that overall. Now, the gritty guitar riffs are very prominent throughout this song, and I just really love how intricate the guitar melody is. But again, the bass is quite prominent, and Frederick's drum work throughout this particular song is fantastic, especially throughout that chorus. Those really nice drum fills that lead on to that staccato effect. I just overall love those symphonic orchestral elements you're getting throughout Twila the Gods. Witness the twilight of the gods. It's a very catchy melodic song. You just can't help bang your head to. This really reminds me of like old Blind Guardian here, and I just love the overall progression throughout this song. Now, there are different changing signatures throughout the song, but it's one of the simple songs, especially throughout this album, where this album is more progressive, more dynamic, and yet more power metal than the other albums previously. Okay, so then it leads on to Prophecies. This is a really, again, catchy song by Blind Guardian, and I just really love Hansy's vocals. Andre Obrich really incorporates some really nice clean guitar, especially throughout the intro, that leads on to a much more heavy and gritty tone. Incorporates a really nice solo that stretches on towards that conclusion. There's a lot of emotion conveyed towards the listener. Listen to this particular song, I kind of feel happy. I love how Blind Guardian do this. They make you feel happy, they make you feel sad within those melodies. If you hear a melody, you know it's either sad, you know it's either happy. And this to me signals that this protagonist is very uncertain of the future, what these dystopian worlds hold, since he actually abandoned these worlds because he was apparently the chosen one. He didn't take the leap of faith, and now that all the bad and evil forces are actually ruling the world right now, and he wants to get that Holy Grail in order to make things stable again. Oh, yes. It then leads on to At the Edge of Time. Much more slower songs, but again it really picks up with the prominent drum work, and I just love the transitional drums throughout this song. They incorporate a lot of orchestral elements throughout this song, but yet this song is quite heavy in tone. I do really love Andre's guitar licks and the guitar melody that just seeps into your mind. Hansy's vocals again, really nice vocal range, but again, beautiful guitar solo by Andre. Another banger by Blind Guardian. Okay, so then it leads on to Ashes of Eternity, one of my least favorite songs off the album. The reason why it's my least favorite song off the album is because of how contrast this song is, because there is a choir in the background, but it leads on to the chorus that really doesn't sort of fit. Although this song is very heavy and gritty throughout the verses, it leads on to a much more slower crescendo chorus. I don't know if I enjoy that or not, but in my opinion, it's still a pretty good song, but I feel it's probably the weakest songs off the album. That's just saying something. It's still a very good song, but I gotta be critical in my reviews, and to me, this is one of the songs that don't really gravitate towards me. Andre's guitar work is absolutely magnificent. The drums, again, by Frederick are just really intense. I do love the intricate drum moments throughout this song. Okay, so the next song is Distant Memories. Now this is when the protagonist realizes that he is the chosen one, and he has the power to control one of these worlds. And Distant Memories, there's a lot of emotion conveyed throughout this song. I do love that solo. I do love that solo in the middle part of the song. I just feel like this song is very different. It doesn't really fit on this album. And that's because we've had fast-paced power metal songs, and you get a really slow song like Distant Memories. So then it leads on to a fast-hitting, high-octane song called The Holy Grail. It's one of the heaviest songs off the album, and this is when that protagonist finds the Holy Grail, and he finds it too quickly in my opinion. But beyond the concept aside, The actual song is a fucking banger. It really is. It's one of my favorite songs off the album, and I absolutely adore this song, and I love the chorus. The chorus is not as contrast as Ashes of Eternity, but damn, this song is banging, and I just love Andre's guitar work throughout the song. The bass is very prominent. It's quite prominent at times, but yet subtle in moments. And that chorus, man, the chorus is one of the best choruses off the album. Hansy's vocals throughout this song are just really intense, and I just love his delivery, just love his vocal delivery throughout this song. Frederick again provides some amazing drumming moments. He's utilized on this, and I just love how high up he is on the mix. But yeah, this song is one of my favorite songs off the album, but I just feel that he's found the Holy Grail a little bit too quickly for this story. Alright, so the next song is The Throne. This is a very symphonic orchestral piece of music. But yeah, it's very heavy. It's very heavy and gritty, and I love those guitars throughout the song. The riffages are infectious as well, and Hansy's vocals are again just deliver that raw tone. I love that chorus that blends into those verses, that then blends into an instrumental, and really some really nice drum moments as well by Frederick. But yeah, Andre really again stars, and he conveys that emotion, especially throughout that solo. Incorporating some really rhythmic moments as well, but Marcus Seepin incorporates some really nice riffrages. Again, one of my favorite songs off the album. The Throne would ideally be that protagonist trying to find that power, trying to find the power. He remembers how he is the chosen one, and now he's trying to get that power back to destroy that evil. Holy Grail is the last line towards that portal. Okay, my Xanadu, it's sacred minds.
Down this place, my spirit will set it all on fire.
And again, it's very fast-hitting, high-octane stuff, quite energetic, and Hansy incorporates some growls throughout this song. Incorporates those cleaner vocals as well, but I just love when he says Xanadu, just absolutely magnificent. It leads on to that chorus, and then Andre really incorporates amazing guitar solo as well. Quite a high thrashy song, one of the heaviest, probably the heaviest song off the album in my opinion, and I just love the overall chord progression of the song, quite progressive as well. Then it leads on to a slow-paced ballad song called Miracle Machine. It's one of the beautiful songs off the album, and I just really love the emotion conveyed throughout Hansy's vocals. It's mainly just a piano backbone song with Hansy's vocals incorporating orchestral elements. It's definitely one of the softest songs off the album. Distant Memories is the second softest song off the album, but yeah, Grand Miracle Machine is absolutely a beautiful song, and this is when I'm sort of getting lost with the story. I just feel that maybe he's very close in finding that portal, maybe closing that portal in order to continue his life in the next dimension where he has control of that world, where he is known as the Chosen One. But I just feel that maybe he has kind of defeated the evil at the moment, but there's also some sorrow throughout this song, and you can tell throughout his vocal delivery. Leads on to the Grand Parade, which is a much more epic conclusion to the actual album, and this is one of the best songs off the album, and I keep saying it because a lot of these songs are bangers. A very melodic chorus, a very awesome closer to the album. I do love the drum fills throughout the song. Frederick really shines. Love how he plays with that hi-hat now and again, producing those really nice tight little cymbal accents. This to me is saying that the story is definitely open for another sequel. The story hasn't ended yet, but at the moment I feel that protagonist has got things under control and has maybe got power over the ninth wave. That's what I'm getting from this album, but maybe comment below your interpretation of the album. Believe it or not, this album made me really love Blind Guardian. I listened to a lot of their albums before I listened to this one, and when I listened to this one, this actually clicked to me, and I fucking loved it. Might get some hate, but this is probably my favorite Blind Guardian album. Like, I love all the others as well now, but I had to listen to this in order for me to enjoy the others, if you get what I mean. Like, I tried the others, but as soon as I heard The Ninth Wave, as soon as I heard Sacred Mind, I became a fan of Blind Guardian. I just love those songs, and that's when I started to really enjoy Blind Guardian. It's a solid album. It's a masterpiece of an album. I think it's a classic. It will be a classic one day, just because it's new. To me, it's a modern day classic. I'm going to give this a solid 9 out of 10. It's such an enjoyable album. I loved it. I love the concept. It's very hard to understand the concept. I would have gave it a 10, but the lyrical themes are at times very hard to understand, so it gets a 9. That's still very good. A 9 out of 10. Comment below what you thought about this album review. Keep discussion going in the comment section below. And hey, if you want to watch another progressive metal album, why not click Porcupine Tree in absentia. I will see you in the next one.